Students, today we are going to discuss about a topic known as the sequences and series. So the first thing that we are going to look at is on the sequences. A sequence, it is the pattern that is exhibited when the items are arranged in a particular order. So if, for example, you have got the numbers, you have the first one as 2, the other one is 4, the other one is 6, the other one is 8, and then 10, we can be able to predict the numbers that are going to appear next after this particular term. So if you are able to find a sequence in which the numbers have been arranged, then actually we can be able to determine the other terms that are going to follow. So it can be seen here that to get the next number, we are adding 2 in each cases. We are adding 2 in each cases like that. So this is what we refer as a sequence. At the same time, we can have this. Maybe we have 100, then the other one is 90, then the other one is 80, then the other one is 70. From there, we can be able to predict the other numbers that are going to come after that. So this kind of arrangement is what we normally refer as the sequences. So a sequence is simply a pattern that is going to be followed when items are arranged in a particular order. Let me give you the types of sequences that we have. Sequences are classified into 2. We have got those sequences we refer as the arithmetic, and we have got those that we refer as the geometric. Let me start with the first one, which is the arithmetic. An arithmetic sequence, it is the sequence that is going to be found if we add or subtract a constant. If we have a sequence whereby to get the next term we are either adding or subtracting, then such kind of a sequence is known as the arithmetic sequence. The constant that we normally add or subtract, it is normally referred as the common difference. We normally add or subtract a constant we call the common difference, which is normally denoted by small d, like that. So, like for example, in this case, we are adding a constant, and that constant is 2. So you find that d is actually equal to 2, the constant that we are adding. In this case, to get the next term, we are subtracting 10. So the constant that is going to be here, our common difference, here, d will be equal to negative 10, because we are subtracting 10 from the previous term to get the next term. So this kind of a sequence is known as the arithmetic. And to get the next term, or to get the nth term of an arithmetic sequence, it is normally obtained by the formula a plus into bracket n minus 1, then you multiply by d, where a is actually the first term. The first term is the number that is going to be the first one in that particular sequence. And then n is the term that you are looking for. N is the term that you are looking for. This is the term being found or being calculated. And then d, we have said it is the common difference. So if, for example, we have this sequence, you are given 2, 4, 6, 8, like that, and then you are told find the 8th term. Find the 8th term. In this case, you should be able to know that the number that is appearing first, or the term that is appearing first, it is 2. Therefore, our a is 2. Then, how do we get the common difference? The common difference d, it is normally found by the term ahead minus the term that is immediately behind it. Like for example, here we have 4, and the term that is immediately behind it, which is 2, so it is the same as 4 minus 2. which is the same as 6 minus 4, which is the same as 8 minus 6. And in all cases, the answer is 2. So D, it is simply the term ahead minus the term immediately behind it. You get the common difference. So our common difference in this case is 2. And then our N, it is the term we are looking for. We are looking for the 8th term. Our N is 8. So we can come here and we say our 8th term will be given by A, which is 2, plus N minus 1. In this case, it's going to be 8 minus 1. Then we multiply by D, which is 2. So this is going to be 2 plus 7 times 2. This is 7. Then we multiply by 2, which will be 2 plus 14, which will be actually 16. So if we arrange this or we continue writing the terms, this is the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term, we continue up to the 8th term, you will realize that the 8th term will be the 16. So you can have another case. Maybe you are given 10, 15, then you are given 20, and then maybe 25 in that order, and then you are told find the 6th term. Note A is the term number 1, which is 10. D is the term or the difference between the two terms that are following each other, which is the same as 15 minus 10. And and N is the term that we are calculating, which is the 6th. So in this case, it is going to be like that. So our 6th term would be equal to 10 plus N minus 1. N is 6 minus 1. Then we multiply by D. Remember, this is the same as 5 times 5. So this one will be 10 plus 5 times 5, which will be 10 plus 25. So it is going to be 35. The 6th term is 35. I want you to note this. Anytime you are looking for D, it must be the term ahead minus the term that is immediately behind it. Don't do the other way. It cannot be 10 minus 15. It must always be the term ahead minus the term that is immediately behind it. So we can have the third example. This was D. This was our A. Our example C, it is where you are given maybe a sequence like, maybe you are given 40, 35, then you are given like 30, 25, like that. Eh? And then now you are asked, find the 7th term. Find the 7th term. One thing that you should be able to know is that this particular sequence is a decreasing sequence, and therefore the D will be negative. In this case, A would be 40, the term number 1. D would be equal to 35 minus 40, which is negative 5. And N is the term that we are finding. So our 7th term would be equal to A, which is 40, plus N, which is 7 minus 1 times negative 5, which will be equal to 40 plus 6 times negative 5, which will be equal to 40 minus 30, which will actually be 5. So the 7th term in that particular sequence will be 5. That is the arithmetic sequence. That is the arithmetic sequence. I want us to go to the next one, which is the geometric sequence. The geometric sequence. The geometric sequence. A geometric sequence, it is the sequence that is formed when we multiply or divide the terms by a constant. When we multiply or divide the terms so that we can get the next one, that is actually what we refer as the geometric sequence. So if, for example, we have something like you have 3, then followed by 9, then followed by 27, in that order, then we can say this is geometric, because to get 9, we have multiplied 3 here. We have multiplied by 3. To get 27 here, we have multiplied by 3 here. So, this case, because we are multiplying, then that particular sequence is going to be geometric. So, in this case, to get the nth term, to get any term that you are calculating, it is normally given by a r power n minus 1. The formula to get any term, it is a r power n minus 1, where r, it is the constant that we are multiplying or dividing, which is normally known as the common. It is the common ratio. R is the common ratio, or the constant that we are multiplying or dividing a term so that we can get the next term. So in this case, we are multiplying 3 times 3 to get 9. 9 times 3 is 27, like that, which is normally calculated by the term ahead over the term behind. In this case, it is the same as 9 over 3, which is the same as 27 over 9. In all cases, we get it is 3. And then n is actually the term that we are looking for, and a still remains to be the first term. So in this case, if for example you are told you find the sixth term, if you are told you find the sixth term, then the sixth term would be equal to a, which is 3, r, it is the 3 again, there is a multiplication sign there, 3 power n minus 1, our n is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. So this is the same as 3 times 3 power 5, which will be equal to 3 times, this is going to be, which is 243. Then you multiply by that 3, you get is going to be 729. 729 is the sixth term. So that is what we normally refer as the geometric sequence. That is what we refer as the geometric sequence. So note, arithmetic sequence, you either add or subtract. Geometric, you either multiply or divide. Thank you very much.